was a similar win for BESTIA, 13-8. So if we can see map 1 and map 3, or map 1 go their way, I think map 3 might fall the same.
They might even have a shot on Mirage to them, and it's not a great BESTIA map. It's an 8-8 record, but still, they do have a historical win. Red Canids in the last 3 months, but we're hopping into Dust2 so we can put the potentials out of the picture and find out the true possibilities and realities. Red decided is their pick after all. Blue Job, Raid Boss P250, Flash for Zoc, and Knocked C on a smoke and a flash. Double dually raid bosses, though, over on Red Canids. I love to see the double dually raid boss, although it's going to be interesting on Dust2, unless they're both on B, which not only one of them is. Another one is bottom middle, so, okay, I guess if you're not taking the range fight top mid, then you're fine with the dualies. Colt's going to get burned alive, though, out on Cat, and so he'll have to fall back a little bit. Slower and steadier T-side. Pistol, good flash in, but Cold Zera cannot connect the shots. And so, despite the great setup, no one has fallen for BESTIA, and Red Canids are down a flash, and they've given up a little bit of their playbook.
They have Venom Zera still spotting at B, throws the smoke, has dualies at ready. Good shot on the first Cold, finally finishes that one in middle, and Venom Zera is ready to rebuke the take on B. 2 and a third as David comes in as support. Davideos opening his docket in a similar vein to his dually comrade. 2 a pop, and a succinct hold at the choke point of B. Delayed contact play for BESTIA not working out, and another thing that I noticed from BESTIA yesterday was they were very interesting with their timeouts. They used them after wins. They used 2 in a row. They used them either early or not at all. Another very swift and early timeout coming from them after that pistol round loss.
That is very interesting. I'm curious as to why you'd call the timeout straight after the pistol loss. That's almost too premature. And we're big proponents of calling the timeouts, Nate. You and I, we very much love when teams call the timeout. But this one, what's the point when you're gonna, I mean, you're going pistol force, no bomb plant? Yes, Red Canids aren't ready for it necessarily. They have 3 MP9s. But this is throwing a lot of eggs in the basket very early. And did Red Canids forget you can self-boost here, or are they going to double up? Oh, they're going to double up. Yeah, interesting. See, a rifle and an MP9. Oh, boost over top. A lot of cap pressure early from the Red Canids here. Maybe there's a read against BESTIA, who are defaulting on Tech 9s and 1 Deagle on Zoc. Very curious.
Another note I want to make is yesterday on their match of Dust2 versus Audic, their default was very slow and lazy. They kind of just sat around for far too long and didn't get any control with it. It led to a lot of late takes with next to no information. We'll have to see if BESTIA can shore that up or if they will continue the trend and get trounced.
Yeah, it happened in the pistol. So far, the trend looks to be continuing.
For the time being, but maybe that timeout was to lock things back in. Only time will tell. They have cat control at least pretty early on. And it left, though. They're still just dawdling. Smoke thrown. It looks like they might go through it. Never mind. Showing that presence, confirming that they are located in that vicinity. They keep Red Canids on their own default. Nathan is pushed up all the way long as well. Tucked into a corner with an MP9. A commanding spot to hold. Items are the same outside of B main. Zera is going to be the main man on A. Spotting one, dropping down, gets the kill. Nithon as well, found one. I believe that was towards long. CT push is a good idea for Lucha, but he just can't quite secure the kill. Catwalk will finish off that one, but Nithon coming back around long finds one. Finds a second. No, it's Cold Zera with the M4 instead to secure that one. 2-0. And again, BESTIA kind of get control, rest, sit, and then get picked apart slowly.
Yeah, there was a utility for that take, too. The flashbang did not deter Cold Zera. He was able to take the fight unblinded. Does take a dink on the second player crossing, which was a little bit of a potential bomb site plant factor there for BESTIA, but they were not able to deal with him. He was able to fall back, had help from Henny up towards CT. And overall, a good anti-force buy from the Red Canids, a good setup, and a good read and reaction to the utility thrown by BESTIA as well. Knocked C on the Deagle this time. He's out towards top middle, and he's running to by 2. Davideus hears the noise coming in from under, and so far, it's actually halfway decent for BESTIA. They found 2 on Glocks. More damage onto Zoc. Naz has an M4, and while 2 players fall for Red Canids, at least they keep the rifles in hand. But a very costly round for them that should not have been. And BESTIA can take a little bit of solace in that.
Some good damage done, but economy for the CT side still looking quite decent, all considered. Red Cane is going for interesting investments. We have the op for Henny early. Like to see that. Give him a chance to really get the ball rolling. Davedeos going for a auto shotgun. He's going to push into lower tunnels. Not spotted either. Big commanding spot to hold. Full AKs for BESTIA. They're getting control over towards mid and potentially towards B tons. This auto shotgun's going to be difficult to disentrench. Naz taking point caught. Second, no. Davedeos looking too far up. Caught by Tomazin. Good trade. Even footing. Where is Venom Zera? Another very important question. He's on B. He only has an MP9 in his character. B in middle. Good tag through the door, but caught by the spacing. Good flash from Noxy to set up Tomazin. Doing the round for him. A split towards B now on the cards. Venom Zera trying to buy time as best he can, but Zoc lurking on catwalk. Finds yet another. Venom Zera has to do it all on B. Found one. Too many angles. He'll get caught by Tomazin once more. 3 for him in the round. This Nithon towards long, and he's already cutting ties to save his M4 for future. BESTIA on the board with a nice split down the middle.
Yeah, good cat hold too to pick off Cold on the rotation. Tomazin, some good entries, good flash work to take down Henny. And given those 2 kills surrendered by Red Canids in the round prior, they have to save here. Even though it's just 1 M4, that can get dropped over. Henny can get an op again. Now, he did a good job on that peak. It's just he had no support to get out of there alive. And now there's an op picked up too. That's going to go to Noxy here in the next round. But the flash would have killed Henny regardless. The thing is, because he takes that shot, the flash isn't even necessary at that point. He's a dead man given the spacing. And there's no counter utility. There's no teammate there to make sure the op can get out alive. And at that point, the op has to start thinking about retreating to a more survivable angle, whether that's towards B doors or window, maybe into CT. But you have to start thinking about your teammates around you if you are Henny that late into the round, especially against a BESTIA team that played very slow and methodical when it comes to these defaults. Oh my god. The scout play bottom mid. He got a tag.
So he's a lot more damage. He has to get an actual body shot, not through a wall. Noxy's not going to let the second shot slip. Good start. Again, BESTIA going for kills early. Very different look from what we saw yesterday. Definitely liking it. It looks more inspired and less scared.
Henny's forced off the angle on catwalk, and this is creating more and more space for BESTIA to exploit here. Cat and back of long under their control, but they have not pushed through doors. Henny now takes up this position. Utility beginning to run a little bit dry on a couple of players on the T side, but they still have quite a bit on Naz and Anoxy. 4 incendiary type grenades, 3 Molotovs, 1 of the CT incendiaries available for the T's with 57 seconds to go. Cat long split looks to be on the cards, but there still is the option for the mid rotation. But speaking of utility, there's only 2 flashbangs left for Red Canids. They need to win these fights and win them clean. There is no real chance for a retake here. Only 1 kit. That's on Nithon sitting up on Goose. And Henny takes another flash. As smoke blooms in his face, he'll ambulate around it looking for the cross, but Zoc has made it through that. Utility should clue him into what's going on. Good Molotov into Henny, under Cold's air, excuse me. But Henny will find one with that op. Nithon strikes as well. Cold's still alive, and Nithon doubles down from double box. And Red Canids winning the fights clean, exactly what the doctor ordered, forcing Noxy this time into a save with the op, as he could do no further in the round. Time is up, and BESTIA and Nate, they got control early, and then just sat back on their laurels, had a snack, pulled the hair from the tortoise in the hair, while Red Canids, as the tortoise, held their ground and kept on moving.
Solid read from the Red Canids, setting up 3 towards A. 3 of their 4 players remaining. Cold, Zera, Nithon, Henny, all holding their lines. There were some good flashes to force Henny away, more often than not. That catwalk flash, the flash towards long that really forced him around the smoke. Okay utility from BESTIA. They're not acting off of it as well as they could. Noxy again dropping down towards lower. Another tag, this time onto Venom Zera as he crosses. A big tag to find early onto the B anchor. BESTIA, their turn to have a cobbled by. They have that one saved op, as you mentioned, 4 AKs, decent utility. They have to clean up their act, get their default more swiftly in line. Python again getting close. This angle hasn't really been figured out yet. They haven't pushed into it. And Python will continue to use it. Tomazine as well, behind the door in middle. He's played this spot before to great success. He caught Henny a couple rounds prior. Build smoke in a flash out long, but it does not catch Nithon whatsoever. Catches 2. Davideus a 3rd. He's on ramp, or in front of it towards CT even. Coming out of B, looks towards middle, is caught. Gives the op over to Venom set of the low player. Still a 4 versus 2, and the information is there. Noxy spotted on the catwalk. Should be a 5th for the red Canids, and it will be. Venom setup finds that player lurking towards B. And Noxy's across the map on catwalk. Op recovered. And a 5th quickly on the board for the red Canids defense.
They're getting close to at least securing 6.5 tie score line against BESTIA with a lot of potential for more. It's a half buy investment from BESTIA, although Noxy going all in hero AK, the op IGL going for the rifle, everyone else on Tech 9s. A little bit of utility as well for flashbang with the smoke. Half of which has already been used, and now 3/4 of which has already been used. Flash-wise, coldzera trying to go up catwalk again is being read consistently by BESTIA, but they don't get the kill. He survives on 1 HP again. This is the second time in about 4 rounds Cold has been on 1 HP. Now Nithon flashing in, out the open, run down by the Tech 9s. Luchov doubles it up as he punishes the low HP coldzera. No cross for the long player, although Tomazine peeks into CT and pays for it dearly. Henny and Venom Zeta, though, forced to save, as it's the pistol half buy that works for BESTIA, and overconfidence and over-peaking solo by red Canids, finally read and punished by the T side. Now the Argentine squad going to try to shape up for a little bit more. The money for red Canids is decent enough for another reinvestment, and a hefty one too. But I would honestly say a timeout might be a good idea for red Canids here, because if they want to keep pushing Cold up Cat, he needs somebody else with him. It cannot continue to be a solo call. That has been read.
It has he and Nithon both playing individually and alone. Cold towards Cat, Nithon towards Long. Both have been doing well for themselves in the early goings of this game, at the midpoint of that first half, but as you mentioned, it's getting red. They need some support at least early on to get them into position. Henny as well, not really taking over with his op, but still more than serviceable job. Same can be said for Noxy. It's a call for red Canids. Support towards Long. 3 getting control early. Makes sense. 2 towards B in the early goings as well, kind of abandoning middle for the most part. Good idea from red Canids to get control of the extremities.
Minimal mid control here from red Canids as coldzera and CT, not up on catwalk this time, is gaining more control at bottom mid. BESTIA on the other side of the doors in that smoke, getting to cross up to catwalk as Cold's going to get all this information sound-wise. He's got a lot of info. A Molotov forces him away, and he actually is going to get sprayed down by Tomazine. Good read there, and an opening pick again for the T's to work with. Davideus now rotating in from B, holding out middle. But 4 up on Cat. Tomazine back to a lurk in lower tunnels, waiting for the cross. Henny needs to hit that shot, but he cannot connect it. Molotov's going to come through a little bit too late as David gets shot down. Henny, one more on the op. Flash is raining through. His long help is far away. It's all up to the offer up close and personal. Takes another shot, 2 left now. 1, but he takes down Luchov too. Molotov onto the ramp, high flash. Cat cross. Henny goes through the fire, but he roasts alive. 2v3 retake here for red Canids. They have Nithon up on Long. This is a power position for the retake with his teammate coming up through CT. The Bestia side is not giving these fights over. Great second peek from Big Box. And Bestia locking down the A side. Well disciplined on the peaks. One gets information, the next peeks from a different spot. It's like playing whack-a-mole if you're trying to take that site. And off the back of the half by, it's 2 in a row for Bestia and probably a third because Red Canids time for Eco is now.
Yes, it is. Now, flashes from BESTIA have been quite good. They're actually throwing some lineups towards B. That was my biggest concern. If they ever want to go towards this B site, they need to have lineups thrown from Tons or from Spawn. They are throwing them now. Saw them in the last round to throw a bit of a fake. BESTIA are really shoring up what we saw yesterday, our worries. Kenny has a hero op boosted on Catwalk. coldzera has a 5-7. This buy is all over the place. And again, if you're going to hero op, you can't miss shots like that. Simple cross and Tons is enough to crisscross Henny's crosshair off the mark. Nice reposition towards middle. Spam down to 20, 28 thereabouts.
He hit a wall shot onto Naz at least. But that's slim pickings if you're the hero op.
2 or 3 if they really won this round.
Mm-hmm. And I don't know if he'll be able to get an op in the next round because he has no money left over. Venom could probably drop him, but is it worth sacrificing so much on another player?
Flashes over, good shot onto the Opera, but he's lagged. That's slim pickings, easy pickings for Davadeos on the USP. Noxy immediately runs away, knows there's at least one more, probably 2 on A with on B with weapons, excuse me. Luchov having an inroad towards middle. Naz drops cold. Luchov lucky to dodge the op in close range. Just Venom Zera. He has the AK. He has to do a whole lot in this round to have any standing. Only finds the one. The trade in middle. 3 survive, and Red Canids. Their lead is now only 1 round. Can they invest? There's going to be a tech pause. Most assuredly at this point. There it is. coldzera, Nithon, Venom Zera, Davadeos still in the server, but we're missing Henny, who has disconnected, hopefully only for a brief time. And Red Canids will be going for an investment. The question is, what will Henny get on? What, he'll be like 1,800? Thereabouts, maybe?
Yeah, he should be a second round loss, so it should be 1950.
Still not good.
Oh, it's definitely not good. No, not good at all. We'll see what he ends up with here. Oh, it's a little more. 2450, Nate. But still, again, not great. What can he drop Venom after Kevlar purchase? MP9? Are they going to stick him on a deagle? No, they're going to give him the MP9. And you will get a bit of utility. It's a lot of eggs riding in one basket.
Just how much they really prioritize that op.
It needs to have more value, though, if they want to prioritize it that much.
Yeah, it's gotten okay kills here and there, but it's missed, again, textbook shots.
Mm-hmm. A lot of shots that are just a fraction too late. If those shots connect, especially on that cat play, Red Canids probably have 8 rounds or 7 rounds right now.
Pressure's mounting for him.
Mm-hmm.
And it looked like it could have been a 5-2 at one point. Been a far more dominant half than it now is.
Yeah, it was 5-2. It could have been such a good half for Red Canids. Now the best case is an 8-4, and I don't know if that's necessarily likely. The momentum's with BESTIA, although some of that's going to bleed away with this technical timeout. BESTIA are settling in well, though. The individuals are starting to come alive. Thomas Zin's been very effective on entry and lurking duty, locking down rotations. And BESTIA are finding ways to get entries into sites now that they weren't in the early going.
Confidence really building up. The worry for Red Canids to nip that in the bud if they want to make this quick and clean. As we mentioned in the pre-show, Audic is waiting in the wings. They don't have to play a best of 3. They'll come in fresh and renewed. Meanwhile, whoever wins this will have to go through a slog of this and the next.
I'm wondering, Nate, if for Henny, he disconnected because he was feeling maybe some sort of server connection issue too.
Seems like it. They're still typing as he rejoined.
Yeah, he's been taking a lot of confidence peaks. He's been pushing the issue, pushing the envelope, but things just look a tad bit behind. Like I said a couple of seconds ago, it's those cat plays in particular that really stood out to me. A couple of shots where he's clicking, but it's just after the player has moved off his crosshair. And I'm wondering if maybe he has some sort of latency issue, routing issue, maybe a little bit higher ping. I mean, the ping difference in CS2 seems to affect people more than in Go ever did. So it's just some of those fine margins maybe that's affecting him. And on a map like Dust2 especially, where the op is necessary. The op is, or Dust2 is the op map. The op is part of Dust2. And you need your op to be good, especially on that CT side. It's cost him a couple of rounds here. And still looks like this technical pause is going to drag on a little bit longer.
Yeah, given the fact that he rejoined and started typing again, it feels like it's going to be a latency problem. Still ticking around, maybe trying to find a server swap, something like that. If I had to guess that the number one contributor to me is loss. If you get lost, that can really mess up a lot of things if your connection just isn't stable. And that does happen from time to time in CS2. It sounds like we do have a fix, though. Tech pause has concluded, and we are back into the lobby. Why is still the same? I hear some players typing, though. See if this comes back and haunts us. We're very lucky yesterday in that we had only brief tech pauses. I'm hoping that trend continues into day 2 of this closed qualifier, but it looks like we're live at least for this round. Zoc spotting under, right outside T-spawn, looking for information on an aggressing player. It is Davideus here. Might just slip the gap. Tomazin is still going to clear this with due diligence.
He needs to here. He gets a lineup and he knocks down both. Minimal damage, could go for 3. Bomb pushing his direction and a missed spray by Naz actually sees him down for the count too. Davideus popping off for the Red Canids. And Zoc and Noxy wondering what just happened. Venom Zeta addressing into upper tunnels. Will get caught by the op. Davideus still sticking around and lower though. Finally backing out of what has become his power position. Into a 2v4 Bestia up against the wall. Red Canids looking for that 8-round half here. And just looking at the money, if they win this in the next, the buy for Bestia in that 3rd round, that last round of the half, is not going to be fantastic. So Red Canids, if there was a best route to an 8-4 half from this point on, it's about set up for them.
It is preventing that bomb plant as well. It seems likely at this stage. The question is, can they get more damage? Bestia. Can they knock down a couple more players? Or they fall? Very slow, very scared. Very measured. They'll get control of Catwalk slowly. Old Zera is here. Once again in his stomping grounds, in his element. Looking for the first some damage. Good spam from Zoc, though. Does Cold Zera in. That cracks open the site. Strong potential for a bomb plant now, but it's planted safe. Nithon gets the first. Can't stop the bomb plant, though. No way, no chance. Noxy, probably not long for this world, but another kill, and the bomb plant would be great. No kill, unfortunately, but the bomb plant definitely helps build up that T-side economy a bit more to keep it invested in the final couple rounds of this half.
There's a decent amount of money on Zoc, Naz, and Noxy, although his money will evaporate quicker buying the op. Double op picked up for Red Canids too. It's going to be Davideus and Henny. So Nithon not touching the op at all here. Keep a note of that. This is going to be Venom Zeta, Nithon, and Cold Zeta on the rifles. Although Nithon's having himself a very good individual performance. 9 kills, 3 deaths, 3.0 KD. Has the highest KD on the team. Very good for the in-game leader of the Red Canids. Bestia. Get that op back on Noxy. And again, his money evaporating down to $50, essentially 0. Tomazin legged by a blind Davideus, who backs away, solo holding long with the op. Very aggressive, but also a very quick reaction to the situation. Just taking that shot and instantly running away. repositioning at car, trying to take a little bit of cover. Still a position that could be a one and done, especially if a Molotov flies through to force him out into the open. But that damage seems to be a little bit of a damper on the BESTIA offensive in round 11. This and one more in the half. BESTIA looking a little scared, all huddled up top middle.
Just lining up, getting ready for a cat press, though. The issue is Henny's at middle with a nade prepped and ready to pop through. Good kill over the smoke on the Noxie's opping rival. BESTIA will still slowly press, but again, the nade in the smoke for Henny. One in cold. Zera ahead of that flash finds one, not quite the second. He does a good bit of damage. Python catches Luchov dropping. Perfectly timed on that peak. The last alive is Naz. He might get a second kill for his troubles, but certainly nothing much more. Down to 19. He's going to drop for anything at this point, just damage, but Venom Zera is ready to shut him down. 7-4. 8-4 seems relatively likely as well. BESTIA prevented from getting a bomb plant means their economy is going to be hamstrung, as you mentioned. Very well done from Red Canids. Double op still in play for them. BESTIA, an op, a couple AKs, 2 pistols, actually a pistol and a Galil now, along with lackluster utility. Yeah.
Both on the same page there. Henny spots one is, I mean, Deus goes under lower tunnels with the off, shotgun off, his teammate falls. Deus misses the shot, drive-by job, but the rifles are falling. Both ops down for the count early. 2-for-1 trade for BESTIA in the final round of the half. Thomas Zine, D-Brains, Cold Zetas, Nithon pushes behind. Zox watching for it, though. He doesn't clear at all. 3-4 missed shots, and somehow Nithon gets out of there with the win. He has no business surviving. This puts so much pressure on Venom Zeta's shoulders as his teammate, his in-game leader, is a one-shot to literally everything except for a couple Molotov ticks and maybe a nade, but it has to be pretty far away for it to not one-shot him. Not a good spot to be in for Venom, or for Nithon rather. Nade goes in perfect onto Naz, doesn't get the kill. That's information. Venom Zeta through the fire. Takes down the first. Off out towards long. Noxie misses the shot. Venom Zeta does possess a Molotov, but Naz gets the skeet shot. And so it's a 7-5 half into the break.
Is it wrong of me to think of you all the time? Even though I'm with somebody new every night. And I pray, and I pray, and I pray that you feel the same way. Is it wrong of me to think of you all the time? Even though I'm with somebody new every night. And I pray, and I pray, and I pray that you feel the same way. I don't know what you're thinking, but my mind is full of fear. Cause I felt this world without you, I feel safer when you're here. It's been a couple months now, feels like time's been moving slow. And I can't tell where my head's at, so can you let me know? Is it wrong of me to think of you all the time? Even though I'm with somebody new every night. And I pray, and I pray, and I pray
Swift start for Red Canids ends at only a paltry advantage, 7-5 as they hit the T side of map 1, Dust2. Pineapple Phillips and Boggs to bring you the action. And Bestia now on the defense with a dually super soldier in Zoc and a plethora of utility on Noxy.
I like the utility, especially when it comes down to a retake, but they do lack a kit if it does come into that eventuality. Complete abandonment of the A side proper and of long as well by Bestia, and Red Canids are running all up long. 5-man train. Noxy USP has that utility. Nade could do some serious damage. Henny has the P250, but it's not a raid boss here. Nade blows the smoke, but it's minimal damage on the cross. Flames go down to ward off a plant, and that will be successful to buy time for rotations. 3 coming up through long doors. A lot on to Henny's shoulders, and he's unable to connect with anything major. There's one for him, though. Henny, too. David Deus comes through to help out, but the bomb yet to be planted, and it's crossing over to B. As coldzera needs to land that shot. It's a little belabored, but he does. Now the bomb is stuck in CT spawn. David Deus will try to get back to the A site as he needs to play together with his teammate, or they'll group up and go together towards B. But Noxy might just get the drop on them quite literally if he moves back on Cat or drops off into CT. Time factor still favors the Red Canids for now. But they'll make the move. coldzera to middle, spotted out. Will not take the fight, playing the long con. As Noxy going back towards A. We'll learn soon. He's planted at the other site and make his way through CT to try and pull this off, but it's just info peeking from Cold and what should be an 8th round for Red Canids.
Should be. Time's taking down for Noxy in this 1v2. Again, that lack thereof of kit really adds insult to injury for this retake. He has to find him quickly, but they're up together towards the box. One hiding, one fighting. Noxy at 4. Now it should be done and dusted. No fight for him. Take him down at long last. 8-5 for Red Canids. That round was a bit chaotic, a bit tepid from Red Canids as they wanted to wait for more information. When they saw that triple push towards long, spotted by Henny, they kind of fell back, pushed towards CT, but left Cold towards Car. And when he got the kill, then everything was up in the air. You can see they were sitting, waiting, discussing, trying to figure out what the best approach would be. And in the end, they do get it across the line. Red Canids, a rifle-centric investment for round number 14. Want to get this one over with rather quickly. 3 Galils, an AK, a MAC-10. Bestia as well, investing once more in spite of a pistol round loss. It's going to be Eagle, 5.7, FAMAS, Scout, and MP9 with lackluster utility.
But it is that force again, coming through from Bestia in round 2. The Scout, lethal onto Nithon. Good start here, but there's a trade. Henny to Luchov out in middle. So under lower tunnels has one down. Bottom mid has another casualty. Tomazine glass cannon from Moss will probably try to swap that over to Zoc potentially on B, although maybe it is better to have the rifle on the guy with no armor because it's better than the MP9 for range fights. Very awkward situation not having armor, and now potential A take on the cards as time begins to dwindle for the Red Canids. They do have a couple of flashbangs, or a couple of Molotovs, one flashbang. The riflery ready to try and open up this site as in comes the utility. Molotov to site and to CT. Never mind, they're not going to ollie site. They're going to ollie CT, give all the time over. Great little drive-by by David onto Noxy. Naz goes 1 for 1. Venom Zeta will pick up the fallen gun. And Tomazine and Doc trying to go for it. Now that Tomazine in the red, probably just a save here, and will he even be allowed to is a better question, which is a no as the answer.
Nice shot onto the jumping player. Zoc, he's far removed. He got a Galil for his troubles. Saved that and some Kevlar for the following. Red Canids are inching ever closer to a victory on their opponent's map pick. Venom setup hasn't found an upgrade. There was one on the side, as you mentioned. I think it was a Galil dropped. But he won't get that, I don't believe. Hoping to take the rifle off of Zoc's corpse instead. That's not going to be the case. Either way, a MAC-10 will be good against the ensuing save. So that weapon will still have its use. 9-5, though, as I mentioned. Lead once again extending for Red Canids. The pressure on for BESTIA. Just USPs in that one hero rifle. How much can they really do in round 15?
Maybe a killer tooth in the economy. I think that's the best they can hope for. Nade and a couple flashbangs might do some damage. Nithon eats that nade and only loses 21 points of health. Adam Zeta will run out, Mac 10 in hand, clear up towards A long, as Red Canids might be changing up the pace here, going a little bit faster. Using that map control, I think that would be a good call. Levi Deus is going to get all the information of players running through tunnels as well. That might spur them forward for this take. Smoke's going out, flash is going high. Long range peek with the Mac 10, not the best idea, but there's AKs behind it. The Galil is up on A site though. That might find it close. He does. Will he spray the smoke? However, no. Henny did fall in the meantime. And Venom Zeta another one as Naz tries to jump on up. Lucha gets one from the catwalk, but he is caught on X. And never mind. Double dink on the David. AK available, and he'll save that into the next round, as it will be double digits for Red Canids. And thus Lucha wants to go for this. Guess he wants to go for it. Oh, that's wow, it actually worked. He got one.
5 HP though. And no kit means a very long defuse. Nithon's tucked in towards long. He can just swing off tap. There should be a round done and dusted, but Lucha was looking for the damage and looking for the round. As I mentioned, they're really running out of rope. They have to get rounds rather quickly. The fact that the T-side player has been so patient means that Lucha has no real stake in the round. Not to escape, happy with 3 for himself and 1 for his teammate. It's great damage, more than I would have expected for BESTIA, given their investment or lack thereof. Still short of a full round victory. Nithon will survive, as will Lucha. Red Canids only need 3 more to secure this opening map. Once again, I have to mention, this is the pick of BESTIA. The pressure is on.
The pressure is on BESTIA right now. Zoc and Noxy holding on to double up. Gets on 2. A lack of helmets won't trouble CT side much, if at all. And he gets the op back after an early spawn-based pick. Doesn't yield any fruit. Taps through. Lucha does a good amount onto Venom Zeta. Now Noxy flash. That will force him back and gain some space for the Red Canids. Help coming through from CT and from Long. Nobody on the side proper, but Red Canids now pumping the brakes, forcing BESTIA into a little bit of a panic rotation. Now the CT side will spread out and take more standard defaults yet again. The op beginning to get a little hungry, pressing the issue. Flash comes forward, bomb slips by. And both of these players with the Red Canids utility in hand. That could have been deadly. That shot connect, giving more information over Nithon and Coldzera, throwing all the utility up on towards A. Nithon drops down. I don't think Luchov saw him, though Mazin is ready as now more players come to his direction. He gets 2 and the damage onto a 3rd as well. Henny one on the op. He's got another one with a shotgun op style. Him and Davideus have to do it all alone. Davideus over towards B tunnels. Henny. So many players around him through CT. And Noxy through the door onto David. That is a huge one to stabilize things for BESTIA. Now Henny's hope is for damage. The round all but out of reach. His shot not connecting. The spam doing damage. One more for Henny, though. This makes it a little bit more winnable, but does he expect Luchov out through tunnels? Does not matter. AK sprays him down. 6 on the board for BESTIA. They keep the double op alive. And that's a huge boost to their economy, which would have been sorely damaged if they lost one of those. And a timeout called by the Red Canids, because technically they, 1, did everything right, 2, now have no money.
A solid swing and timing out middle. Still couldn't quite get it done. There's an actual different smoke box to throw out for the cross. It lands on top of the boxes, and because of how big the smokes are now in CS2, it covers the entirety of CT spawn and also over the top. So if they throw that different smoke lineup, I think it's the exact same, but just jump thrown with a crouch instead, it covers off CT. Noxy can't get that kill through the doors. The Red Canids not necessarily up to snuff on their utility. gives BESTIA something to do going forward. Just pistols, Glocks across the board for Red Canids. Double op still in play for both Zoc and Noxy. BESTIA can make this round clean, build their CT economy. They can definitely come back in this first map of the series.
Yeah, there's still plenty of room for BESTIA here. Naz peeking out, getting information. It's Glocks for Red Canids. Nade will do a little bit of damage. Again, Nithon's the one who has to eat that nade. A little unlucky there for him. We'll see if that trend continues too. Just a personal thing I like to keep an eye on. Although, 3-4 kills all in a matter of a second as Naz has one, Luchov with two, Noxy with another on the off, WDU, smack the ball, dings Tomazin. But a clean round, and no real fuss about that from BESTIA. No fuss expected either. Because now it's time for the Red Canids to get back into this one and try to close it down, or else BESTIA can swing this one close and maybe even take the lead going into the late stages of this map. And his op is out. No helmet for him. No helmet for coldzera either. Utility is not horrible, but it's not great. That double op still in play here for BESTIA. As we get into round number 18, Galil for Venom Zeta. Only Noxy lacks the helm, and Naz is going all the way up middle with Luchov behind him. It's being watched for by Cole, but only one player. Trade potential is there, and Luchov's actually going to watch for the lower tons play. coldzera's made noise. He's expected, and he's removed by Naz. The right eye peek favors the CT player in that angle. And so, opening pick again, going the way of BESTIA.
Going the way of BESTIA. Like Cold was wise to the play. BESTIA have done that more than once. They did it in the pistol round, if I'm not mistaken. But he couldn't pull the trigger quickly enough, so coldzera's down for the count. Double op. One half of it's now on back of B. Other is, I believe, towards... Oh, no. Where is Luchov playing? Not Luchov, Noxy playing, excuse me. It's towards CT. Red Canids really burning down the clock at this stage. Sub a minute. Not much control to be spoken of. They're all going down middle, like towards lower tons. B split appears to be on the cards, but it's going to be a difficult sell with Noxy and CT. Contact play is not going to work against the op. Noxy one falls back. Aid ready. There's the smoke lineup. That's the one you want to throw in conjunction with a second one.
Yep, for that little gap. But I think Red Canids might just save Nate.
Gonna have to at this stage. No utility left for a real take. Saw that op, sure, but they have not gotten any information on this B site hold. And yeah, the bomb's in T spawn. It's gonna be a save guaranteed. You're right.
Timeout 2.
It'd be nice. It's when the dude seemed kind of lost.
The money's just in such an awkward state for the three that did not save. AK armor, no util. Tech 9, full util. Deagle, some util. No timeout, though, for the Red Canids, even though they have 3 to work with, 2 now. They used 1 a couple rounds ago. And he uses the nade as cover. Spots one on the cross. Will Zoc test his luck, though? Flash goes high, and he takes the shot. Zoc goes low, and so he'll survive. Good nade damage. Double nade onto Venom Zeta, down to 38 HP. But no real confirmed damage yet. No kills either way. Noxy takes the shot on Kawak. He's been aggressing that direction often. Maybe something faster would work better for Red Canids, but there's a good flash. Luchov forced away. There's help coming in from Tomazin as well for Luchov to get back and away and alive. And no commitments to these fights from Red Canids are allowing BESTIA to basically just bait out the utility and the information.
They're running low on utility now. Red Canids. Luchov forcing the issue, though, with Davideus, who doesn't expect it. Good kill to find at long last, going the way of BESTIA. Red Canids now. What's the call? I have a player holding outside long. Deagle. Had 3 on Cat, now just 2 with the Tech 9 going in faking through the smoke. All of this information. Rifle. Falling back. Naz finds Venom setup. Red Canids just getting plucked apart. They're going for these early peaks for information, not committing to the fights, and then BESTIA is forcing the issue. 2 on Catwalk, ready to hold off against the final 3. Zera lining up utility spotted around, caught by Noxy. His boost for the op from Nithon isn't going to spot anything. Good job to have them both dead to right. 1 secured, 2 not quite. Nithon gets a gift in the final seconds of the round. Gift is only brief. Naz a quick trade and a 9th for BESTIA. They pulled off the comeback. Red Canids are going to be on a save. Be at even footing.
Pistols again from Red Canids. Cold has a vest behind that deagle, but other than that, it's going to be a couple other unarmored deagles, a couple of 50s. Not really much venom behind this peak and this buy for the Red Canids. Maybe a kill or 2 would be nice, but the money for BESTIA is in a good spot. The scoreline should be tied here, heading to the last few rounds of the map. Bomb completely abandoned and left in despawn. This goes to show how much hope Red Canids have of winning the round. They do take care of 1. As a matter of fact, the ops are finding it troublesome to find damage. Venom Zeta takes down the op of Zoc without any damage whatsoever. Luchov's coming behind. Henny's got the right idea. The smoke is down. Luchov's going through it. Davideus gets the gun out in time. Henny's there. Luchov traded out by Davideus. The bomb now has to be recovered because it's a man advantage for Red Canids as they have been given these fights by BESTIA. The ops not connecting, and now a prime opportunity to take this one away. Commit robbery as the Deagle of Cold finds the second to last. Knocked CNCT. The bomb moving to A up Catwalk. The op now has a sidearm out in hand. And again, Deagle's on 3. 1 player head armor. P250's on 2. And they survive with 3 alive.
That was a round that I'd written up and that even Red Canids wrote off. They didn't bring the bomb with themselves. They just left it in spawn. It was kind of a tilt buy from a lot of the team. And yet they find the kills. They connect the shots, largely thanks to some misses on BESTIA on Catwalk. The op misses, the M4 struggles and kind of runs out of steam and ammo. Red Canids seize the day with that, up the pace, bolstered by those first couple inroads, and find great, tremendous success. Luchov had a cool idea flanking on Catwalk, but it was held for and quickly traded. That is a huge round for Red Canids to find because it gives them a massive injection of cash. A half-buy victory is huge. It also maintains their lead while also shaking this economy of BESTIA. BESTIA don't have a lot left in the bank. They get a solid buy here. If they lose this round, it'll probably be a save going forward, if not a heavily compromised investment. Again, Red Canids have everything they could need. An op, AK's utility, money in the bank to boot.
No matter how they get them on the board, all that matters is that they get enough to win the map. Same goes for BESTIA. A little bit of nade damage onto Venom Zeta. Naz just around that smoke. Will there be a flash for him, or will he have to take this time dry? He does get flashed, but it's not good enough on the first. Blinded for the second. Traded out. Long control here for Red Canids. But they're still defaulting around. One watching towards top middle push is Henny. Davideus was lurking out towards B, but B has been abandoned. And I don't know if David got the information on that either, as he seems to be grouping up with his teammates out towards A. It's a gamble stack here for BESTIA, with Tomazine watching both B and CT now. Luchov aggressing. Nithon spots him. Cannot remove him, however. A little bit of a window back into the round for BESTIA here in this 4v4, though their utility is all but empty. A flash, a smoke, 1 kit for Luchov. And Red Canids, all full remaining, all up long. This is a gamble and a half from them. The utility will telegraph this all. BESTIA spread out a little bit more. There's space to use for the T side. Can they find the opening kill on Cat? If they do so, they'll have a leg to stand on.
Will. Dog jumping up though. 2 ops located on catwalk. Swing comes in, the smoke around it. Nithon finds 1 and 2. Zoc only gets 1, and Henny's op at long holds down the back lines. A swift end to Bestia. They had the right read. They got set up. The smoke isn't a real wall, and it can easily be picked apart. 12-9 map point. And the economy of Bestia in a difficult spot. They'll go for the investment. Of course, they have to. But it's going to have a lot of holes. Zoc and Tomazin on MP9s, a Deagle for Naz, an M4 for Luchov, and an op for Noxy. Only 1 kit, lackluster utility on a majority of the squad. Again, Red Canids have everything they could need. AKs, the op utility. It's all here. Seems like Red Canids might have finally stabilized and not at a moment too soon.
Oh, the timing impeccable for Red Canids to stabilize here, but they still have to close it out. And they they won a round with a much weaker side, with the best side. That's the fourth now with that op. The MP9's on 2, the M4A1. As Red Canids are looking for the aggression to come through from the CT side, and they just might get it. Knocked the out towards middle, spots the head of Hetty over the smoke. That's a big pick to find. Zoc might go hunting now as he'll realize somebody's close with that smoke from Nithon thrown to Xbox. Still, slow and methodical are the Red Canids. Smoke fades on Cat. Luchov and Naz both very far forward. Up goes David, and down he falls. Double ding from Luchov, and Red Canids are losing players faster than the time's expiring. And it's starting to run out quick for them. 45 seconds, they go out long, but the bomb's going to top middle. Are they saving again?
It might be. Unless Cold found something early. They're saving. Lackluster end of the round. Bestia spread out, covering all their bases just in case it isn't actually going to be a save. Of course, we have the luxury of X-Ray. We know it's going to be. 9-12, Slinks to 10. Bestia stay alive. Naz and Zoc could find a weapon on the ground from Henny or Davadeos. That would definitely help them out. They'll look for some. Zoc will get an AK. As nothing found. Didn't even have armor in that round. He'll need a drop from a teammate. 2 rounds though, and Bestia will secure overtime. Red Canids though still have a solid investment. A lot of hinges on those opening duels for this T side. They either find them and push, or they lose them, sit, and eventually save.
Well, Red Canids back at it again. Bestia, a little bit more passive of a defense, although they do have Zoc all the way up through long. He's just holding in towards pit. Now, a little bit of a smoke used towards mid. Nithon will go up to catwalk and challenge the op of Noct to see will there be a flash for him. Goldzera is there, has a flash. Molotov flash. Noct still holding the line, and no peek coming through from the Red Canids. There goes another flash, and they cross forward. Damage exchange, but minimal onto Cold, and Noxy, okay, he takes 1 shot, but he had an opportunity for a couple. Doesn't even get half damage onto 1. Still, Red Canids stuck in middle. They have not been able to escape it yet. They have not been able to move on to a site. They're stuck. Quicksand. Can they get out? 43 on the clock. They have to make a move, or they save again, I guess, but that would be bizarre. And they'll start to make a play towards catwalk, but it's very telegraphed, and this is giving time for rotation and defense to settle in. Oh, that's big. 1 for 1 out to middle, but Luchov now 2 for 2 trade. That means they use timing up in tunnels. This has to be huge. Time is of the essence. Out he goes, and Tomazin reads the clock well. Another save potentially here for Red Canids. They have 15 seconds to go. They're splitting with the op in lower tunnels. He's going to miss the shot on the cross. Goldzera goes out. He's not going to get it far. He gets taken down by window. Red Canids are playing with the clock, and it is going too far long if they're not making a move with enough time to make up for a potential mistake.
No. They're flying by the seat of their pants. They're throwing utility last second. They're saying, okay, let's split B with a drop in CT spawn. But again, as you mentioned, very telegraphed. Nithon lucky to even find one, all things considered. A tactical timeout used by Red Canids. Overdue at this point. Their buy is going to be hamstrung, and he barely can afford the op. AKs and lackluster utility are going to come through. In fact, Venom Zera and Nithon are going for Galils instead. Too much dawdling from both teams, but the difference was BESTIA dawdled at the start, and the Red Canids are dawdling at the end. Very difficult for them to speed it up somewhat, find an opening at some point, and ideally start their ideas or their takes before that minute mark, because they are, again, losing time non-stop. Henny finally winning the Opera's duel. He lost it in the round prior. A big one to find if Red Canids want to get over the line in regulation. Still have a long way to go. 5v4. Abadeos heard tons being taken. We expect the second there. That's the question. Shock running up catwalk. Has an op in hand. He's caught. Naz only good for one. BESTIA giving away some critical kills at a crucial time. He was so close to bringing it back to overtime, and now in a 2v4, it seems far more unlikely. And he flips Tomazin. That leaves just Luchov. He's known to be in CT spawn. He's definitely not long for the world. Cold Zera walking up top on Cat, spots the feet and gets the kill. It was not a pretty map of Counter-Strike for either team, but Red Canids equalized at an important time and clutch up in that final round of regulation.
Yeah, it almost reminds me of the round they won with the Cold Zera Armored Deagle, two other Deagles, no armor in the picture. And so far, both teams have to really dial it in and lock down on making the mistakes. Yeah,
a lot of mistakes that could be readily exploited. One thing that I took away from this Red Canids squad that I enjoyed was Nithon on the rifle. I was questioning how his swap would go. Again, he was the opping IGL. He swapped to an actual rifle, an M4 towards the long on CT side, for example. And he had great success. He was actually second frag by the end of the game. A 78.8 ADR. Venom Zera was the bottom, which is not what you'd expect. He still had very good impact, though, in the flash department. 83.3 cast for him in that map. We are on to the second. We are on to Mirage. BESTIA on the defense. This is the map pick of Red Canids, as we said. Kit, Smoke, Flash for Tomazin, Nade for Noxy, and Dooley Super Soldier on Zoc. Two sets of utility spread out on Davideos and Henny. No upgraded pistols for the T side.
Well, it might not matter as the T side has full control of that A site. It's a retake setup for BESTIA. They do have the kits, but already into CT spawn. Venom Zeta and Nithon ready to hold this down. There is a flank. It's a long flank, but it's already watched for. Cold Zera holding on for Zoc, who is making contact, but neither player really doing the damage. Anti-flash does not even needed. Nithon and Venom Zeta combined for 3 and 4 out towards CT. Cold wins his fight against Zoc, and the retake, Nate, falls flatter than a pancake. That was about as swift and efficient of a hold as you get on a pistol.
Shut down quickly. Very well done from Red Canids to start things off right on their map pick. Are they 3-0 on pistols? I believe they are. Very good statistic for them. And BESTIA again continuing their trend of force buying in round 2. MP9s, a Deagle, actually 2 Deagles, and a 5.7. 3 in window, 2 up towards catwalk. Interesting call, a pair going in there. Red Canids, what's the play? Early mid control shown. A quick fall back towards A. The T side once again take control of this site.
Again, BESTIA going for that second round force too. It's become quite predictable and has failed to yield anything positive for the CT side or the T side, whatever side BESTIA is on. They're ready to explode out now. Our Red Canids, they clear out the close corner first. Venom Zeta goes forward and he takes down 2. You call him out, and then he has a lack of firepower impact, but good utility impact. Now he's having the firepower impact too. 2 kills this round, enter out onto the side. Davideus got dropped in the as Cold Zera will spray down Tomazin. He'll continue his exploits from Palace as Naz and Luchov will save the armor and upgraded weapons they have. The MP9 for Naz, the Deagle for Luchov, if they're allowed to, as Venom Zeta scales forward his Mac 10, hungry for more. left. He does. He does not get the kill. Damage, but not quite Luchov. So a couple of casualties here for Red Canids. Not that bad, though. And now Luchov falls as well. That was armor and helmet, too. Down for the count. Naz has escaped into apartments, so he should be safe. But Red Canids, 2-0 start on the Mirage T side, and it should not be an investment from BESTIA in the following. Naz will have something, the MP9 and armor saved. So a 3-0 start, incredibly likely for Red Canids here on their map pick, and always good to get the T side ball rolling early.
Especially on a map like Mirage that tends to lean more CT side. Very solid for the Red Canids. Old Zera going for the MAC-10 this time. The rifle surrounding 2 Galils, 2 AKs, good utility. Should be a clean one for Red Canids in this round. Though we have seen BESTIA make save rounds like these expensive. Mid, Noxy crosses, spotted. Gonna boost up someone in towards the ladder again. Where is he? Looks like they might cancel that call. Race away, just barely by. It's a B stack from BESTIA. They've seen next to no presence in this direction on the map, and yet they'll go for the stack, maybe banking on the fact that Red Canids think it'll be an A site stack instead. Red Canids need to figure this out. Don't commit too early, because that could be catastrophic.
But to not commit too early, they have to give themselves buffer. And that's something that both sides didn't really do in a lot of cases on the T side. They would wait too late, have to make a site take, and by the time they did, if something went wrong, they still had to commit to it. Or they would have to back off and save. If you're Red Canids, you cannot afford to save this round. You need to at least have a fighting chance at it. They're going to commit to B here, Nate. A lot of time on the clock. They still have the stack, and they're going to be unsuccessful in fighting their way out. That's a good one to Luchov. But they're still committing to the B site take! Oh my gosh! Finally the bomb's fallen off, but look at the casualties. Immense damage done by BESTIA. Guns to be picked up, rifles at that. Zoc and Noxy might just even save this too. Noxy not really worth going for an exit on 3 HP. It's pretty much impossible, but Zoc's got an AK. There's a Galil for Noxy to be able to pick up, and BESTIA are going to go for this here, which is an interesting call. Zoc has the utility too, and he's just going to run on out. Molotov to ramp's actually a good one, although that's the MAC-10, which is probably the one that you need to worry about the least in the situation. Still, round 4, Red Canids on the board, but another one that was not as clean as it should have been for them, and that continues the trend we saw from Dust2.
Yes, it is. They were really hoping, banking on a 4th kill there. That was their main goal. Really cement this round as costly for the Red Canids. Of course, that kill doesn't come through. Noxy does manage to get that Galil in the nick of time. He'll drop it over to Tomazine. He might get a glass cannon op for himself, maybe a body armor op. I can't quite tell the price. No, Naz will drop one instead. Tactical timeout used by BESTIA early on once again. They want to get this rifle round on the board. They know that the economy for Red Canids is pretty low, all things considered. And if they can win this round, they might reset that economy. That's their idea. Cold Zera, early smoke lineup, ready to throw once the tactical timeout concludes. Noxy hasn't bought armor or utility as of yet. Better not forget, that would be terrible for your opera to get aim punched out of a shot.
Oh yeah.
And he also has his op in hand for round number 4, so we might have a duel of the oppers early on in window.
Will Henny go for the Opper's dual window, or will he take his talents over to apartments? The latter seems more likely, as he did have a decent B spawn, so he's going to go over there. And actually, no more spawn-based takes. He's going to hold for underpass instead. So everything that we were thinking about possibly happening does not happen. Venom Zeta dives out a window. Good flash from Henny as he's setting up the utility on that take. Aligns the side holder in Tomazine, and so the lone holder on B after the stack is unseated, and Red Canids locking in the 4th round as BESTIA will probably just try and save here with minimal utility for a retake. 5 men alive on the site. Not a high percentage retake chance for the CTs, so 4 rounds early for Red Canids. while we have the time to talk about it too, BESTIA 8-8 record on Mirage in the last 3 months. But when you get into the nitty-gritty of it, Nate, their half score or their side scores are almost as even as their record. 49.5% CT win rate, 49.2% T-side win rate. They are about as even as a team can get.
Terrorists win.
Which is not always a good thing.
Not always a good thing, no. Red Canids a fourth. The 4 players surviving ensures another solid round by for BESTIA. I don't know if that was a hard read from Red Canids, expecting the mid-aggression once the rifles came through and off the back of a tactical timeout. But coldzera just through utility, made sure that BESTIA had to respect it and send the manpower required to rebuke it. And then, of course, that quick pop out of the apartments worked wonders for the Red Canids. 4 rifles now for both teams, and a little for venomZera is less than ideal, but can still most certainly work out. The smoke window was blocked by the CT side, giving Noxy an opportunity to peek over and surprise anybody in middle.
That's a good block there. Gives that extra angle that's usually unlooked for. Tomazin up in apartments. Very aggressive. Looking for the opener. Rotations being heard. venomZera spotted as the smoke fades. His head peeks around. And now Davideos and Henny will get the strike as David got dinked through the wall. 4 versus 4. A little bit more space to work with for Red Canids. And the money's still not fantastic for BESTIA. Noxy, though, about to entry in onto Nython, but Noxy misses a critical shot. Had backup from Luchov, but both players are forced away via Flame as Red Canids ready to explode into the A site now if they want to make this move. Time is starting to dwindle for them. So it seems to be the likely course of action. Nython getting boosted up. Noxy is ready for anyone walking through window. Nobody's there just yet. David wall-banged by the very same as Naz drops coldzera. The players in middle collapsed in upon, and Red is finding it difficult to get out of this one alive as Zoc will catch Nython as well from behind, leaving the op of Henny to try and save from the looks of things and not to give a secondary op over to BESTIA for free. Their first round on the board will come now.
Good one as well. I like the idea from Tomazin jumping into apartments, buying time as well for his teammate to chuck some utility. In the end, he doesn't get out, but it's almost more than enough. Forces them back towards underpass, very well read by BESTIA. Seemingly were one step ahead of their adversaries. 1-4, BESTIA on the board with a convincing victory. Again, 4 surviving is good for their CT economy. They're already building up quite the bank because they also saved in the round prior. It's Red Canids' turn to call a tactical pause. They have money to buy, no doubt, but what is the call? Seem to be lagging a bit behind BESTIA in terms of a read on the rounds.
I feel like, again, comes back to a point we've talked about. It's getting to ad nauseum at this point since Dust2 about Red Canids and BESTIA both taking too long to actually make a play. And when they do make a play, it has to go perfect or it's not going to work. There's no option for a plan B.
Smokes and costly. Looks like they might commit early again. Their underpass player top middle. 3 towards ramp has the makings of a site split. coldzera needs to be weary of this cat play from Zoc. He went down middle, jumped up, and now sits behind the smoke. Will coldzera respect this? A lot of angles to worry about for the veteran. Looking for it. He gets the kill. Naz drops venomZera in the meanwhile. Mid-control take and Noxy on the op. A little bit slow on the shot, but he secures it, and Luchov finds Nython as well in the meanwhile. Davideos, Henny, the final pair. 1 ramp, 1 palace, and both known at this stage. Op has been very quiet thus far in the series. Not the spear point that you'd hope it would be.
Yeah, I mean, it is T side, but that's a chunky nade too on the Henny's position. Davideus reveals himself up in Palace. Molotov nade combo might actually do Naz in. He's out with 6 HP. Henny clearing out behind the smoke. There's the spear point you want it to be. Plenty of time to work with. 3v2. But so little health on Henny is a bit of a oh, he was trying to get the smoke to Henny. That would have been a big play. But the smoke rolls the wrong way. That's a very heads-up decision to make as well. Or is that a nade? Either way, there's a bit of utility up on the scaffolding. The bomb has yet to go down with 30 seconds to go. A flank coming through from Luchov now. Henny baiting out a peek. And Tomazin is spotted. Great duel by David. Leg shot from Noxy. But do they expect the flank here? At this time, I don't think they do. Henny's going to get the bomb down, but will he watch ramp? He's watching towards jungle. David and Henny are watching the same angle. Luchov gets the freebie. They know where David is locked in as well. All they have to do, one on bomb, one on palace. And it should be a second in a row for Bestia here. Unless David can pull off something impossible. That is exactly what he needed. Swings out wide as Luchov's under, but there's plenty of time as Luchov trades him out. David a little bit over aggressive and overzealous after getting that nice pick onto the op. In the end, 2 in a row for Bestia, albeit a costly for the second.
Very heads-up play to swing for the first, knowing he can't take it when they're both entrenched on site. Good one to find, but as you mentioned, overzealous, sticking around for too long. From there, he should know the 1v1 is in his favor. Fall back into Palace as far as you can. Wait for that tap on the bomb and play from there. In hindsight, it's a very clear call. In the chaos that is a 1v2, doesn't have quite the right read, Davideos. Bestia, 2 in a row, albeit very costly rounds. Same could be said for Red Canids, though, who are now on a compromised investment, lacking utility. The Lil and Davideos is far from ideal. Red Canids are going to try to up the pace now. Up catwalk they'll go. Straight with some flashes. The steps are heard. The question is, can Bestia get in position to rebuke the take? Naz in the compartments, totally unexpected. Zoc 1.5. Naz and Tomazin combined for another. And Henny with the op will find something. He's a hell of a lot more than that. Opper's duel. Not one. Noxy still moving as he pulls the trigger. He's lucky to be alive. He's not even alive any longer. coldzera finds the kill. Second secured on the taps, leaves just Naz. Low HP and towards Vanny. Sees one on his screen, Naz! What a chaotic round! What's his res? That's the only excuse. What's his res? Because it's clearly not what we have on the broadcast. It's not native.
1920 1080 native. Which, Nate, I actually realized by accident I've been playing on native for the last several months.
Good. Native is good.
It actually is. I went back to, I used to play 1680 1050 in CSGO. I went back and I couldn't hit anything. But, side note, what a second shot from Cold. Running out of ammunition, has 1 to 2 shots, takes all the time he needs to hit that shot. And that is a veteran decision-making at its finest. The confidence and the experience to have that kind of poise. What a play.
Huge clutch up, and again, the opping continues to worry me. Noxy, that was a free kill onto his adversary, onto his rival opper. He was blind and dead to rights. He had plenty of time to line up the shot, and he still couldn't hit it. The player was standing completely still. 5-2. Red Canids steal that round away by most metrics. Spy is still compromised. At 10 for Venomzera is far from ideal. Bestia trying to do will give them confidence. They press in middle. coldzera, though, again, up to his old advantage, flashing himself in. One, not the second. The spray transfer can't connect. Noxy on the op will right his wrongs in this round by trading out. He'll need more than that. Smoked off window, he'll just reposition instead. Zoc towards Khan, hoping to find some semblance of an opening, some semblance of an advantage. Red Canids' offensive has stalled entirely. They have their positions, now they'll hold.
That was a good idea with a little nade play, but just a little bit late on the peak for Nithon. 105. No utility for Bestia except for one solitary flash. That's a lot of opportunities here for Red Canids if they actually go get a site for control, or even if on the initial take there's nothing to stall them out. They have to win some of these fights, and with the potential mid-collapse between Zoc and Tomazin, it's not going to be an easy take. The boost is coming through here. Henny's going to get blindsided as actually Nithon pops up and saves his opper's life, but he sacrifices himself while doing so. Zoc backs out of window. Henny's up for Khan. Tomazin is still up on Cat. Time is running out. There's no smokes for Red Canids. They're going to take these fights. That's a good one from Henny, but here comes Zoc still lurking around. Venomzera on the Mac 10, low again. Nice swing from Zoc. He'll grab his 4th of the round. Great play from him. It had a very disappointing Dust2, but he's coming alive on Mirage. 3rd round on the board for BESTIA, bringing it back closer, and it should be a 5-4 score line after this Red Canids save round, unless they're going all in here. Venom's at a Deagle. coldzera might get a Galil here. Nithon could do the very same. A timeout call by the Red Canids. That's their 2nd of this entire map of 3. And we have not even gotten to the 2nd half yet.
No, we haven't. Red Canids, that trap of going towards bottom mid, sitting underneath the window, happened multiple times now. The player, BESTIA, there we go, that's the word I'm looking for. BESTIA, really putting great emphasis on jungle and window control, always having one on cat as well to support. It means that if Red Canids get stuck in, if they can't win those duels quickly and cleanly, they're going to be stalled out for time and slowly picked apart by at least 2, if not 3 players. They need to be very weary of that angle, of that spot. They need to go quickly through middle if they're going to go through mid at all. Perhaps ladder might be the call. Get up catwalk, go into ladder, and try to find something from there. Because right now, lower mid and bench is not working.
No, it's not. The trap that a lot of teams fall into is trying to keep on the mid train, get stuck in middle, and it's hard to get out of it. Especially once the team finds the counter and is able to get you stuck in and hemmed in. coldzera somehow surviving that first duel, but Tomazin brings it back to a 3v3. That AK isn't recoverable for Nithon, who has no armor. That's difficult to tell. Venomzetta might try to grab it as well, but there's a potential player in con, a potential player in window, so many different angles BESTIA players have found themselves in, and Red Canids players have been found by that. They're not going to clear jungle! Oh, Venomzetta, that could just break the round. So much invested here. And now Tomazin scales forward. Nithon scout. 1 onto the tagged player of Tomazin, but the win here, all but impossible. And now confirmed so. Here's the 4th for BESTIA and the 4 spy from Red Canids. Close at the beginning, but it fell apart at the end.
Collapsed. Utterly. Again, not doing due credence, not giving due credence to window and towards jungle. Free kill for Naz. Red Canids now have to be honest with themselves, brutally honest. No bomb plant, no inroads on the forest, means that it's going to be a save. 1 hero deagle for coldzera, who's been having quite a map. He's been a monster in middle, finding openings left and right, in spite of having no support. Where do the bulk of the team go? Looks like B is going to be the name of the game. All 5 grouping up. 1 player showing presence, just looking for contact. There's Tomazin dancing with him. You need to be careful. A lot of T's are potentially coming their way. And now 1 fewer as Naz drops Davideos. 4v5. Red Canids stalling out. Going for that early lean B. Rebuked. Now walking middle. Zoc is here with an M4. It's a lot of ammo ready to shut them down. 1 secured. Not the 2nd, though. Deagle and Block combined. Venomzera spots the off in the underpass. Naz there to support on catwalk finds 2. Luchov as well in con finds 3. Not a flawless round, but a clean one for BESTIA with 4 players surviving. The tied ball game now secured as we go into the final 2 rounds of this first half.
Yeah, and again, Red Canids falling into the same trap as the last several rounds. It starts good for them, and then it collapses towards the end. And there's a legitimate chance for BESTIA to win this half here, and I would not be surprised if they do. It starts off so poor for them, but they are able to finally get Red Canids into a cadence. They read them, they outplay them, and they just lock them into these situations that Red Canids, granted, are putting themselves in first and foremost. But now they're going to go for a classic A run here. Zoc is going to get challenged. He'll smoke off before he gets pushed. Luchov goes down, and Venomzetta was found by the off. Nithon in jungle, though. Now it's BESTIA's turn to get bested by a player over there. Double up on here is Noxy and Tomazin going back in for it. Now just the off IGL. 1 quick one, maybe a second as there's no trade. Bomb in the open. What a second shot. The flank is coming in long from coldzera, but Noxy hits the skill jump. The smoke's still down, but the bomb and con recovered by the Videus, and they'll bring that over towards default for the plant. coldzera should have heard that scope now. He should know exactly what's going on over the window room. coldzera, messy on the finish, but he gets the job done in the end. There's the 6th for Red Canids. It almost seems like a bit of a gift if they were able to get that one.
Yeah, they changed up the pace. They ran out A, and it was a very passive hold. The nade utility, or the nade damage, I should say, initially from CT was quite good, but the smoke top con proved to be the real linchpin in the round for Red Canids. Gave them the cross in towards jungle. Big opportunity to Nithon. Even then, it was very nearly ripped away by Noxie's op. Smoke window, and a drop underpass early from BESTIA. Their buy is compromised now. 5-7 on Luchov and no kit in play. Red Canids, bolstered by that A site take earlier, are going to go for it again. Venomzera dropping up. Luchov under balcony, only good for 1 on the 5-7. Advantage retained for this B-side swing from Davideos. Unexpected, not created upon, not traded whatsoever. Nithon finds Naz. Tomazina, the last to spawn, not long for this world. He finds the first. The information is now given away. Try to find more, but at this point it seems like a fool's errand. Second, nonetheless. A third. Okay, Tomazin. Now it's a 1 versus 1 against coldzera. One of the best for this team, and Cold has a very solid position. He saves the round. 7-5, tenuous lead for Red Canids as we hit the halftime break.
Why did you say goodbye? It doesn't matter. We seem too young to understand. For the better. The weather changes when we dance. Belong together. Catching sunsets, riding waves. Stay forever, where the rhythm never ends, 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 where the rhythm never ends. We seem too young to understand. For the better. The weather changes when we dance. Belong together. Catching sunsets, riding waves. We stay forever. Where the rhythm never ends. Where the rhythm never ends. Where the rhythm never ends. Where the rhythm
It's been chaos from start to finish here between Red Canids and BESTIA entering the second half of map number 2 Mirage. It's Boggs and Pineapple Phillips with you this evening once again. Audic waiting in the wings to face the winner of this series, and the winner of that will qualify for ESL Challenger Atlanta. But we still have to get through Mirage and potentially Nuke to get to that second and final best of 3 of the night. Nate, it's full USPs and armor for the Red Canids. No kit, no utility. It is full on armor and armor alone. Aim is the name of the game for the Red Canids.
Respect the call. The individuals are feeling fiery right now. They are 3-0 on pistol rounds in this series, Red Canids. BESTIA starting off there, take one player in Con to hold off a push through smoke. 3 up Cat. It's going to be a B split. Venom Zera, though, dropping Van. Finds all 3 on Catwalk. The 4th out of Palace, or Apartments, excuse me, finds only 1 before being traded. As the last, he was again holding that Con smoke, and as he leaves that position, Davideos sticks his neck out, finds the kill. A succinct and clean pistol yet again for the Red Canids. And that extends their lead to 3, puts them in the driver's seat, and gives them a hefty advantage towards potentially closing out this series in 2.
That is a massive advantage, but they have to take care of the second round. Oh, it's a save for the first time from BESTIA. They have gone for a 4 spy on round 2, 3 of now 4 pistol rounds. Just a deagle invested for Tomazin. Knocked C. Got naded down to just under half HP. Also interesting to note, Nate, all BESTIA players separated by 2 kills max. 99877. Meanwhile, Red Canids, a bit more spread out, 11 at the top, 9 and 7 in the middle, with 6 at the bottom. That's Henny, and his op will be on the CT side this time. Davideus gets a little hungry, he'll peek, but he does not overstay his welcome. He's not punished for his aggression. And it's a good, smart info play from him. If he got punished, it would have been a bit different, but still, good discipline to not take that second fight after he spots a couple of players, gets the information. A lot on Venom Zera, though. He's been very good. But he's going to have to be great to get out of this one alive. MP9 is perfect for this situation.
No chance to harvest some money. They won't force through. Davideos is still dancing top middle, looking for something. He has support from bottom con if needed. He's holding under, pass with an M4. Belabored spray, but he secures 3. Brings it back in. Final 2 swinging top mid are in a crossfire. Easy pickings for Davideos and Henny. The Opera securing 4 in the round on the rifle instead. So close to being able to drop that weapon over to a teammate and buying an op, but instead he'll stick with the rifle. Full bonus in effect for Red Canids. Very solid for them. BESTIA, full AKs. Cody, though, is lacking in a major way. As you can see, Zoc making the right read. Selling his Molotov to buy 2 flashes instead. 2 flashes, some Molotovs, and some smokes is all that BESTIA have in this round to complement the rifles. Canids, what's the setup for these MP9s? That's what I'm most interested in. On a close ramp. One on B going towards Cat. B split is potentially on the card.
If the MP9 pops into ladder or just plays around bricks close, it's still a good position for it. You're probably going to be in the more of a one-and-done position anyways. But with the MP9, Matt, he'd be able to get 2. He spots out players in departments, though, and there is nobody to help him. He does go down without a fight, but Gold Zera had Cat locked down for now. Davideus moving in through market. Standing there with him. They spot up the bench player, but Tomazin wins the fight. That's a messy spray from David and barely does any damage to Tomazin, who still has bench and jail control. Henny has Tony's here. Goes back to it, and the fight from Tomazin evens it up at 3 apiece. Apps rotations coming through. Nithon caught as well. Gold Zera and Henny. Both players' last known positions are relayed to the remaining BESTIA players. The bomb creeps out onto B. Henny out in the window, though. That's a great read. Noxie was waiting for it, but too low on HP to do anything about it. Hits on Cold Zera. No utility left for either of these players. And both going to go right through that smoke, domed by Luchov. And Henny's going to make the jump up here. Going to go for the 1v2. Kit is there for him to grab. No,
Saving.
Henny's going to save, yeah. Not a lot of money, and I think there's an op available. Oh, no, just an AK. So no op for Henny, but he'll be able to get one in the next round regardless. Drop that probably over to Cold, given the game he's been having. BESTIA, though, first gun round on the board.
First gun round, it was awkward though, touch and go. It was a split up cat. If Red Canids had a player with a rifle on catwalk, perhaps, maybe things could have gone differently. Bomb goes off. Again, gap is 3. Henny is heating up individually. Riflery looking quite good. We'll see if his opping on the CT side can match. BESTIA, this is a make or break round. They can either break this CT economy and come back into it, 7 and then 8 likely off the back. If they lose it, their own economy might be sent for a wacky wheel down and run out of room. Won't be enough time left. Red Canids will likely get 10 and 11.
Yeah, this one could either go on for a while or it can end very swiftly. Red Canids are at the point where they can get this one in the bag quick, or it's going to draw out for a long map again like Dust2. Now, if you're Red Canids and you want to be the most rested to face BESTIA, you want to put this one to bed, or rather to face Audic, excuse me. You want to put this away fast. If you're Audic, you probably are actually hoping this goes to a third and is drawn out, so not only are your opponents more tired, but you also get to watch more of how they play and learn more of their tendencies. Audic have played both of these two teams so far. It'll be a rematch regardless of who plays in the final. Tomazin's Mac 10 might actually get an opener onto B very fast, but there's no support for him. And I'm not quite too sure what the plan was there. Cold Zera goes 1 for 1. Luchov trades him out of Get Right. Venom Zeta is stuck on site now with the MP9. Noxy has the bomb alone on B.
David up top. Khan finds 2 on catwalk. Venom Zeta tags 1 on cat. He knows the second's likely on site. He has support now in hand, and the MP9 chips away the IGL. Zoc on cat gets 1 trade onto the rifle. Still, he has low HP. That MP9 chipping him down ever lower. Bomb still down on site. A 1v3. He has gotten across at least, but Venom Zera has the perfect read. 2 for him on site, 2 for Davideus. Up on Khan, and 1 for Cold as he held off the cat push in the initial engagement. 10-6, a big round for Red Canids to find, and 3 surviving means that their buy is going to only get better. BESTIA, no bomb plant, no real inroads, means that their economy has been torn asunder.
I'm still not sure what the point is of sending somebody in with no support, and then sending the bomb in again with no support. There's too many moving parts in that situation, and the moving parts aren't even connected by a single thread. Or if we want to get more technical, by the same axle. That's
Still leaning B.
Yeah. It's like Red Canids kept on leaning mid. BESTIA keep on trying B.
Around Venom Zera, want him to fall back. They're chucking a Molotov and maintaining his space. Bring up Cold Zera to probe middle. All 5 though, grouping up for this apartment's play. Does Venom Zera have another Molotov? I thought he might. No, it's the smoke and a flash. This time around the play will actually come through. There will be a commitment. 5 players are here. They're ready for this B site pop. No splits. Nothing crazy. 1 man can maybe show it as a bit of a fake. Venom Zera struggling to get that duel. Now the take comes through in earnest. Venom Zera dodging the flash. Too much to do. Is caught by Tomazin. That's the site cracked open. Cold on cat gets 2 in response. Will he get away? Just barely. Blocked by his teammate. Davideus, who's dinked through the wall yet again. 4 versus 3. No utility left for the T side though. Belabored spray good for 1. Zoc a quick trade. The spacing good for BESTIA now, but still a man down. Noxy the IGL good for 1. Henny though a trade quickly thereafter. It's just Zoc. 1v1 now as he secures the first on the Davideus. Time is of the essence. He gets caught by Henny over peeking, trying to dodge the nade. And Henny grabbing the kit will also grab the round. 11-6. Half by gets them close. Does not get them across the line. Red Canids 2 away from closing out this series.
No op recovered for Red Canids. It'll be reinvested by Henny himself. But what a high pressure play to get that nade off and then hold the opposite angle too. Have the confidence to go for that spray. Great play individually by Henny there, who is starting to pick up and actually 1 kill behind Cold Zera on that CT side. He had the bottom kills. He's got 8 kills in this half, had 6 coming into it. He's definitely picked it up, as you would expect, on the CT side with his big green gun in hand, but some of those kills have come by virtue of the rifles, as evidenced in that last round. Red Canids, as you said, Nate, 2 away from taking this map and thereby the series. Moving on to rematch Audic, the same as the upper final from last night. An okay amount of utility left for BESTIA at this stage of the round. coldzera has been very good for multi-kills as well. Up on Catwalk, there's a strike from Eddie, though, to kick this one off. Takes another shot towards Connector, but nobody will be found through the smoke this time on the second try. But up through middle, BESTIA will creep. 1 through ramp. Nython tossing utility. David, Nython, and Henny all in the vicinity. Good one from David in hell. Now more damage coming through, but Naz, Zoc, and Tomazine open up the A site. 3 quick kills, all headshots, as coldzera tries to deny the plant. EU is unsuccessful in this task, and so the bomb is down for BESTIA. There is a kit available for Venom Zeta. coldzera does not possess one. A little bit of utility as well to use. Nobody still triple. Venom Zeta makes sure of that with the spray. I believe he spotted one up in Palace as well. What a read by coldzera, though, expecting to flatten the fast flank of Zoc. Wins that one relatively clean. Palace again spotted. They have to know it's CT and Palace or triple and Palace. Venom Zeta creeping CT. Takes a peek out with nade in hand. Tomazine is caught. coldzera watching for Palace. The hold is on. The tap, the spray, and Naz clutches up to keep BESTIA alive in this best of 3.
Hectic, chaotic rounds. The retake nearly comes to fruition despite the odds. Venom Zeta and coldzera so close to getting that across the line. But BESTIA keep Red Canids off of series point there and also break this CT economy. BESTIA got so close a couple rounds, finally getting across the line, sends that CT economy up and over into a desperate half by Pistols, 3 Deagles, 5-7, and a singular scout for Henny. Red Canids just giving too much control towards jungle and top con over to that T side of BESTIA. Make the most of it, collapse in on that A side. Tag onto Luchov, dink onto Nython in turn. Henny needs one, Molotov nips away Nython. Even trades thus far, but the rifles and utility should get BESTIA across the line. Naz finding a second. Henny scout, though, finds another. Does he know there's one close con? That's the biggest question. Smoke will go down. And will coldzera go through? Now, other side of the smoke, Tomazine, though, finds him. Vantage secured, and Tomazine wants to put this one to bed. Another secured, leaving just Henny. Scout has found 2. He needs even more. Spot comes in. Flying Galil headshot through the box. Stalls the bleeding, stops the bleeding of BESTIA. Only 2 players fall. Acceptable by most metrics. 3 rounds again separate these 2 teams. It's going to be 2 after this one, given the fact that Red Canids are going to be on a full save.
Again, Red Canids had everything to do to make this one short. It was all lined up for them. They had everything going right in that rifle round they lost a couple of rounds ago as well. I believe it was round 18 or round 17. And 3 players just got obliterated on A despite being in a very good spot to hold it down. Things have swung into BESTIA's favor now, at least to try and bring this one close to a tie ball game. 3 rounds separate these 2 teams. Should be 2 after this round. Damage is the name of the game for Red Canids, though, because they've done a lot of damage in the past few rounds, and so BESTIA's economy is not in a great spot. They are quite low. Naz at 300. Multiple players under the 1500 mark. Only Noctsy really has any money at 30,000. And they're going to read this well, BESTIA. They're going to go to the open site, so the pistols of Red Canids are probably not going to have any impact in this round unless they deathball in on a retake and get a couple of kills. The bomb plant here will clue them into what's going on. That actually should give them the signal as Zoc gets the fight on the back on the CT, and maybe a second 2 takes a dink, and no, David Deus will win that duel. So there's that damage coming back into play here as the pistols will not go for the fight. They're just going to, I guess, not give BESTIA the kill reward.
I'm not sure I like this idea. If they don't at all. Doing some
Yeah,
damage
I
to
don't
keep
either.
this T-side economy honest. Additionally, everything's riding on this next round for Red Canids. It's a rifle round. They have to invest all their money. If they lose it, it's going to be 11-10 and then 11-11 as they go for a save. But if they win it and they do damage in this round, Bestia will be on a compromised buy, going up against 12-9.
Mm-hmm.
Now there's some resiliency built in for this Bestia team, making these next couple rounds all the more difficult for Red Canids, even if they find a win.
And that's a big qualifier too, even if they do find the win. So right now for Red Canids, they have Venom Zera on a FAMAS. No kit for the CT side, and that's a big thing to worry about. Venom Zera has a helmet. He could have afforded a diffuse kit if he forewent the helm. Luchov out in the middle, though. There's a bit of a gap for Henny as he's watching it with an M4A1. The smoke also missing window. Same with the Molotov. Some blunders here from the utility of Bestia. The utility of Red Canids is getting dwindled significantly here. Now, after the nades, going to spur Bestia forward. Luchov up catwalk. Coulter has to hold it down against multiple opponents. He only gets the one. Henny's backing out into middle. He will trade out Naz. 3 versus 3 retake on here for Red Canids. They cannot afford to lose this, but again, no kit. The utility, though, lacking also for Bestia. The nade damage onto Zoc still coming into factor. Thomazine down to 31 HP, and a boost up on Ninja Box for Noctsy here. Interesting situation. Jail, Van, and Ninja. Red Canids working in. Time is of the essence. Zoc has been spotted. He also gets information on one. Does not know there's 2. Henny coming in catwalk. Big one on the Thomazine at jail. Zoc now revealed. And not quite sprayed down. Noxie helps out from Ninja Box. And he'll double up as well. 10 for Bestia. It should be a tie game. Unless Red Canids half by can save them from a tie scoreline.
Massive round for Bestia to find. Again, how that player gets up catwalk alone, I will never know. Seems like he gets up there more often than not. Luchov free to find the trade on the cold. To sideline that pair of players trying to stack up on the van. As you mentioned, very likely a tied ball game at this point, given the half by. Nithon and Venom Zera actually investing quite low on the MP9s. Behind the AKs, Venom Zera and Cold Bear trying to take the fight to these apartments players. I like the idea. Nithon's here as well as a third that might be unexpected. But having shown his hand, now things get far more difficult. Venom Zera, Naz kill is huge. Chop though gets the trade. Henny finally here, but he only has a P250 and he's going to struggle in any duel, let alone these ones. Nithon surviving in the smoke. Gated out. Caught. Henny though with P250 does strike to keep it even. AK picked up a big one to find. Can he get more? Yes, he can! Catwalk found, leading to Davideos in the clutch. Noxie tagged to 21, but no primary weapon for Davideos makes it difficult. He hits the shot nonetheless. It's a pistol round, which steals away the momentum from Bestia and gets Red Canids up to a 12.
Somehow, some way, Red Canids get to a 12th again with a broken buy that seems to save the day. What a second kill, too, from Venom Zeta onto the catwalk player. Henny as well, getting one with the P250, grabbing the AK, and then dropping the catwalk player. The spam from Davideus causing more chaos, and Red Canids one away from a rematch with Audic. Henny takes the shot a little bit premature, nobody there yet. But he's also just probing for info with that kind of a play. Noxie naded down a little bit up in apartments with the op trying to spearhead a take towards B, although the bomb is left towards C. So plenty of options to rotate back towards the A site if needed for Bestia. They've not committed anywhere just yet. But a heartbreaking round to lose in round 22 for the T side. But also something to note, Nate, head-to-head in a best-of-3. There has never been a full 3-map series between these two teams historically. One team, whether it be Bestia or Red Canids, has always won 2-0.
I'm surprised we haven't seen the triple stack towards B yet from Red Canids.
I know.
It's been almost exclusively B, and we've never seen an outright commitment. We finally saw it on that last round because it was a half buy, but still. They should get the read at this point. Henny holding with the op, though. That's a good change. Finds one. Davideos, a second. That was towards middle. Venom Zera now combining with Cold Zera on Catwalk. This might just be curtains. They finally make the read. They finally get the setup, and it leaves just Zoc on 6 HP. The Flames will do him in. 13-10. Red Canids never make it easy on themselves, but they do indeed save the day before map 3 is required.
I think that's the operative way of phrasing it too. Red Canids do not make it easy on themselves. They force themselves to have to win crazy rounds with meager